Folks, early week edition of College Sports Now. Great to be here. Lot to talk about and very excited to do so with our man Roddy Jones from the ACC Network, Sirius XM, ESPN, occasionally ABC. We'll find out where Roddy's at this weekend, although I already know, but I'll pretend like I don't. Tripp Hurd, the lock doctor, is also here. Tripp, nice bounce back weekend for you this past Saturday. Mazel tov, congratulations. Not the best weekend in the world for Rodstradamus. We will get to that a little bit later in the show. No guests today. We've actually gotten some feedback from our audience. They don't like guests. They just want to hear more of Roddy and myself. And occasionally,
there's no way that's
Tripp.
true.
Occasionally, they want to hear more of Tripp. But we have a lot of football to discuss, and we will do so here over the next hour and change. Roddy, I don't know about what it was like in the suburbs of Atlanta this morning, but when I woke up and rolled out of bed, 48 degrees in the Piedmont of North Carolina.
We were not in the 40s. We were in the 50s, though. 59 down here in as you say, the Piedmont of Atlanta.
You know what that is? That's Ugg boot weather right there, buddy. It's time to slide on them Uggs, dog.
Tell me you don't have Ugg boots.
I've had a pair of Uggs for about 20 years, and I've got a tremendous story about the origin of these Ugg boots. And I don't have the little guys. I've got the big boys, the ones that come up like mid.
I bet you do.
Mid calf.
Yeah, the ones that are for the basic.
Ugg boots were created in Australia for surfers. Not everybody knows this. No. Surfers get out of the water. They're cold. Their feet are wet. They would slide on these sheepskin boots to keep them dry and also to wick the sand off of their feet.
It's not cold in Australia.
That's the origin of Ugg boots. I don't have the pink ones. I don't have the blue ones, right?
You got the brown ones, right?
Those are probably
the
more so
that,
in
like
the
my
Jones
wife
household
wears.
with all them girls. That's correct. But I've got a pair of Ugg boots that are like 20 years old, and you think I didn't slide them on this morning? You're crazy. Absolutely put them things on.
I'm going to look at you differently now.
Good.
I'm not gonna lie, down here in the Piedmont of Atlanta, or where you come from. I know where you come from, the east side of Atlanta.
East side.
You ain't gonna see it. You're not gonna see a single male with Ugg boots on. Ain't no males with Ugg boots.
You know, Tom Brady is an Ugg endorser. Did you know that? Does that change your perspective of Tom Brady?
That's exactly what he just said. No males are going to be called wearing Ugg.
Tom Brady also eats avocado ice cream, bro.
Well, I'm just telling you, look it up.
From his Florida State Cup.
Look it up. The reason I have these, by the way, is because we had somebody go to Australia and bring these things back, and we're like, dude, like all these surfers are wearing these on the beach. I'd never seen these before. I thought of you. And I was like, appreciate that, dog. Appreciate that. I just think it's interesting. And you guys didn't know that at all, so you're welcome.
No, I didn't. And you know what? That's 2 minutes of my life that I'll never get back.
Did you see any Ugg boots when you were walking around Provo, Utah this past weekend? How was that, by the way, aside from Stanford just deciding that they weren't going to participate in the football game? How was your trip?
Stanford decided that preseason when they fired their coach and everybody left. Yeah. Provo's great, man. Provo's beautiful. Did some hiking of the Y. I went to a rare book shop, which was awesome. That was a lot of fun.
Saw the video. Whose idea was that, by the way, Roddy? Take us behind the scenes. Is that a producer for ESPN being like, hey, man, why don't you put on an ascot, hang out with this dude, and hang out, like just open up the vault, check out some rare books? Or was that you being like, hey, ESPN producer, I'm going to put this ascot on and go hang out at this bookstore?
So it was my idea to go to the bookstore. This is a place that this guy has 1 million followers on Instagram. He's got 1 million at least on TikTok. Like he's very popular on social media. And so he'd come across my feed before. And I was like, where is this guy? This is probably in the summertime. And I realized, or I found out he was in Utah. And I remembered when we got the BYU game, this guy's in Utah. I was like, hey, maybe I'll just go swing by the bookshop. You know, it's because I was thinking it's got to be in like Salt Lake City, and I'll just stop on the way there, on the way to Provo. Turns out he's in Provo. So when that happened, I was like, hey, has anybody ever done anything with this? Because we always try and get a sense of place. Like, where are we? What are the local attractions? That's why you see like bumps coming back of fountains. Like you come back from commercial, it's like a shot of fountains or a shot of a local park or a shot of, historical museum or something like that. It's to give a sense of place, like to tell about where you are. Some places are so well traveled, like you're not going to see that a lot in Athens, maybe, but like you get 700 games in Athens every year. Unless some stuff pops up, like new shop or new concert or something special that happens there. But this time I was like, hey, are we doing anything? Has anybody ever done anything with this? Because everybody's done like, what is it? The Creamery downtown in Provo. Like everybody's done that before. And they were like, no, I've never seen anything about this place before. So he was like, all right, on Friday after coaches meetings, if you want to go, we'll send a camera with you. But then he had the idea, our producer had the idea of like, you should do like a most interesting man in the world vibe, like put on your suit, wear an ascot, get a pipe and be like, oh, I am highfalutin in this highfalutin place or whatever. So yeah, that's how it happened. And then I got convinced to wear the ascot on TV further for the game.
Look, so. I'll be honest. I don't know if you saw this or not, Tripp. I was up grinding on BYU Stanford because I'm a ball knower. I don't shut it down when the East Coast teams are like night. I'm up watching Washington State and San Diego State. I'm up watching my boy Roddy.
You're watching that.
I was, okay. We can talk Washington State football if you want to, Roddy. I know you haven't grinded on that tape yet. BYU Stanford was on my television, and I saw you with the ascot, like the little scarf-looking thing. And I got to be honest, man, I thought you wore it well.
I appreciate that.
And frankly, I think, like as somebody who's on TV a lot, remember Digger Phelps? He had the highlighter, right? Corso had the pencil. Like everybody, all the great ones leave their mark, Roddy Jones. I think it's worth expanding the ascot game because nobody else has that market cornered.
You sound like my pops is all about it now too. He loves that look.
You have a nice thing. You got a nice neck on you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, your thing.
And I'll say this too. ACC Network football podcast is televised. Okay, yeah. This I saw this last week when you and EJ Manuel were doing your thing on State Run Media, and I was like, damn, Roddy's got a big old neck. I mean, you're a former running back. Like, obviously, you needed it.
It's not as big as it used to be, but yes, it's still. Well,
my point
small.
is, it's framed up with the ascot, dude. I'm just saying, man. Look, I don't think you should be walking around with a pipe on a regular basis. Okay, I think you're just inviting attention that you may not want. Yeah. But the ascot game was pretty strong. Had that lavender thing going on. I mean, wore it well. They did
a good job. I actually did not pick the ascot. It was actually just a bandana that they bought, silk bandana.
Yeah, I
know, that we fashioned into it.
But still,
but the I didn't pick it, so I showed up to the truck with my suit on and my shirt, and our producer was like, "Well, what kind of thing are we looking for here?" I was like, honestly, man, like. I've got the purple, I got the gray, like something with some pattern because I got two solids. I was actually thinking he was going to go more gray with a pattern on it, but he came up and he had sort of the purple blue, paisley deal going on. It was good. It was good. It was a good choice.
Like you walked off the set of Bridgerton, man. That's all I'm saying. Like you look like
I got a lot of jokes like that. Like I shall call you Saya from now on.
Joke all you want, but guess what? I'm on ESPN at night. What are you doing? Hanging out in your pajamas and Ugg boots, watching me on ESPN. So how about that?
The thing is, and I told my dad this. I think it's a night game thing only. Like I don't think you can roll into a 12 o'clock or a 3:30 with an ascot. Like I think it's too early.
It's probably also geographically appropriate. Like there are certain places. Like if you're doing a game in Fayetteville, right? Like you can't be rolling up to Razorback Stadium in a damn ascot. Like they're going to turn you around.
I think we try it, honestly.
Like that doesn't work in Tallahassee. By the way, nice mug, Tripp. Nice. Go ahead. Show everybody on YouTube your mug. Go ahead. I know you're proud of it.
He's proud of it. It's a good mug. Yeah.
Go Knowles. You're back. Congratulations.
You guys are back. You're so back.
Let's talk some football. Before we get in, let's talk football, please. I mentioned the ACC Network podcast, which Roddy is a part of, and you do a great job. It's televised, which I didn't know until I literally saw you on TV. Why are you sliding up in my text on Friday night? When I'm trying to watch my alma mater go up against an ACC team.
Did you actually block me? I got a text yesterday. So I was actually a little surprised. I thought you did block me. You did indeed block me. I did it because number one, I was bored. I was out in Provo, sitting in the hotel room by myself. Needed some camaraderie.
Needed some companionship. Is that what you needed?
Companionship. So I hit you up late night. Hey man, you up? You watching this JMU deal?
Yeah, I'm up grinding on these Dukes, bro.
The reason I text you is because I wanted you to know. I wanted you to know that I knew that this was not going to end well for James Madison. I wanted you to know that I knew how this thing was going to go. So I'm going to pull up our text messages. And I am going to let you know, or I'm going to let the fans know exactly how this went down. So Steven and I are texting back and forth. I said,
let the record show I did not initiate this text thread. I don't need the companionship. I'm trying to watch my team punch their ticket to the group of 5 CFP spot. Now, granted, this is before USF does what they do on Saturday, but still, it's our Super Bowl, and I got Roddy chirping in my ear.
Oh man, this is a lot more text than I thought. Thank you for providing that
because you were on one.
I said so JMU, I can't remember what exactly happened, but I said JMU might be in trouble if they don't get this. I think this was a third down. I can't remember. And you said stop that. I said officially in trouble. You're lucky that INT is going to be overturned. You said JMU's been in control. I said you're dominant from the beginning, which they have been. You need to be up by more than checks notes 0 points at halftime.
Thank you.
JMU was dominant the first half, and they were tied with Louisville. And so I wanted you to know that I knew that this wasn't going to end well. I said it's only a matter of time. Did you see Chris Bell? He's better than everybody else, as is Isaac Brown.
Yes.
This was pre-Chris Bell slant for a touchdown and pre-Isaac Brown slant for a touchdown. So then later on, I go, they get backed up. You said 99-yard JMU drive coming up. I said, prob strip sack. They did not get the strip sack. Then on that possession, that was the next possession. I also said JMU needs to stop playing like a dog. The 2 quarterback stuff screams non-belief. What are we doing? Get Sluka out of there, which they needed to do. They didn't do that. And then later on, I said, I feel like Isaac Brown is about to break one. Let the record reflect. Isaac Brown broke one, and the strip sack did happen. I was seeing it clearly, man. Seeing it clearly.
Narrator voice. Isaac Brown did, in fact, break one. Now, prior to the 78-yard touchdown run, old boy had 11 carries for 26 yards.
Yeah, but he ended up with over 100.
I know what he ended up with, Roddy. I watched the game, but I was very close. Like, we're friends and all, but like you were crossing the line last Friday night. In the words of Katy Perry, last Friday night, you were crossing the line.
I was poking the bear.
Yeah, you were poking.
It's not the only weird text exchange Hartzell was involved with this weekend. I think we've got to go through another one of these on Friday show.
Oh, with Felder, I'm sure.
Felder, God, those guys.
Listen, this is a family-friendly show, all right? But y'all were talking shit on Saturday night.
I wasn't talking anything on Friday. I was just trying to gauge you.
You were.
Trying to gauge your fandom. I was rooting for you. I really was. I was pulling for you.
Louisville won the game. Here's where it gets tough, and this is where I think this is the impetus for why Roddy was so hot. Our boy Rodstradamus picks games on Tuesday morning when we do our show. The line when Rodstra made his choice, what was it, Roddy? Do you remember?
13.5.
13.5.
Whew.
Louisville won by 14.
Whew.
The line.
I listened to the Friday show, and the line on Friday's show was what, 14.5?
14.5.
So you won on Friday. I won on Tuesday.
Yeah,
and it looks like he's counting yours as a loss. He won, Hartzell.
Did I count that as a loss on the document?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll clean that up. I made a mistake. It happens, but
I don't. What about this guy Sluka though? Like what you were saying, they should pull him. I'm kind of impressed with Sluka because it seems like he can get you 5 yards when everyone in the building knows there's a 0 probability that he's going to ever throw the ball in the air.
Which was great for JMU until he couldn't get you 5 yards anymore because Louisville knew that there was 0 chance of him throwing the ball. Like Alonzo Barnett, no quarterback run. Matt Sluka, quarterback run. Eventually, Louisville figured it out and was like, hey, when this Sluka guy's in there, let's like dare him to throw the ball. And he never did.
He can't. Yeah, exactly. Because he cannot.
And I just feel like the two quarterback stuff, we're spent too much time on this game anyway. Louisville also has issues, big issues, and I thought they'd be pretty good in the ACC this year.
Yeah.
But they've got big issues. I just felt like on the road in a game that you had controlled, going to 2 quarterbacks or shuffling the 2 quarterbacks that much, not just playing Sluka on 3rd and 1s. I thought that screamed desperation and non-belief. Like we need to do something to pull this out of the bag rather than let Alonzo Barnett run the offense. And I didn't think they ran their offense very well in the second half. So
yeah, the story here is not JMU losing as much as I would like to make it about me.
It's Louisville.
It's about Louisville winning, doing so in ugly fashion. And
Well,
frankly, I don't know how much belief I have in them in what appears to be a new look ACC, at least in terms of teams at the top. I know Clemson is still there, but obviously FSU, Miami, and others are coming. I don't know if Louisville's in that tier. I don't think they're close. So.
No, I think the ACC power rankings right now after 2 weeks would go Miami, Florida State 1 and 2, Clemson, then a little bit of a pause, and then it's Clemson, and then a much bigger pause, and then probably Georgia Tech. Pitt's looked good, but they played nobody. SMU, I guess, is in that category, although they peed down their leg on Saturday. And then NC State, I think you got to consider NC State and Virginia in that category as well, because both of them have looked pretty good. CJ Bailey, not MJ Morris, he's gone. CJ Bailey has been one of the best quarterbacks in the conference quietly. So was Dylan Lonergan, the quarterback at BC. He went up to Michigan State, put up 400. Was it 400? No, yeah. It was close to 400. It was high threes if it wasn't 400 yards. Dylan Lonergan at Boston College is really good. Boston College is going to be a problem for some people. Like they're a good football team.
How about that? We will get to some week 2 takeaways. Tripp's best thing you saw, worst thing you saw, thing that shocked you. But we're talking ACC football, so let's lean into this. Rough weekend for the Atlantic Coast Conference, in my opinion. Roddy, you may push back on that. The SMU meltdown versus Baylor. Duke. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 turnovers against Illinois, and then a very tough scene under the lights at Lane Stadium with Virginia Tech getting absolutely run by an SEC team, and you're like, well, that makes sense. The SEC team was Vanderbilt, which is now, and I want everybody to pull off the side of the road so that they can hear this clearly as I mumble my words. Vanderbilt is a better football program than Virginia Tech in the year of our Lord 2025, and it's not debatable. 2 years in a row. Tough pill to swallow for folks in the Commonwealth there. So, what did you make of the ACC weekend as a whole? The SMU Baylor game was awesome. Tripp and I were watching that in the Blitz studio, back and forth. But SMU's up 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and they couldn't close the door. Tough scene.
Very tough scene. Yeah. So I think your characterization of the weekend for the ACC was correct, because you didn't win any of those like toss-up games. Boston College goes down to Michigan State in double overtime. That was a game that Boston College had every opportunity to win. Highly entertaining game. Sounds like you didn't watch it. You were saying you were grinding the film late night. You obviously didn't flip over to NBC watching what was going down in East Lansing.
If Noah Eagle is involved, I can't. I'm sorry. I just cannot.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm not there yet. Maybe I'll get there, but I'm not.
Wow. Noah, look, that Steven's statements does not reflect the way this podcast feels about you, my dog. Not that you care, because he's
doing just fine without
young, handsome, and wealthy. Like, I mean, he's doing okay.
Yeah.
He's doing the NBA on NBC. Like, he'll be all right.
Yeah, correct.
Round ball rock warms up. Noah Eagle.
Not that handsome.
Happy for him. Yeah.
I didn't know who he was, so I looked it up.
He's very young looking. I think he's handsome.
He's definitely young.
Bad looking. He's very young. Very young. I actually did a Sirius XM show with Noah Eagle once upon a time.
It does not surprise me.
It's a brush with greatness. Brush with greatness.
So is this. So is this,
one
Roddy.
with Jack
Just so we're
Collinsworth.
Clear, so is this. Okay? Appreciate you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. What was I talking about? Oh, the league. So I'll go kind of in chronological order of like most disappointing to least. The SMU game I think was most disappointing because you're up 14 with like 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You don't win that game. Like, you have to win that game at home. And then you go to overtime, and I don't know how you feel about the overtime, but we had 2 teams in overtime get the ball second, which is what you want in overtime. You want the ball second in overtime. Both Boston College and SMU get the ball second. After the team that goes first scores a touchdown, they then score a touchdown. Both Boston College and SMU kick an extra point, which takes you to second overtime. I am of the belief, and I think the prevailing thought is that you go for 2 at the end of the first overtime. that is what you do. Georgia Tech didn't do it last year at Georgia.
No, they didn't.
And now we've got two teams doing it. And just because it ended poorly for those teams doesn't mean that I'm right and they're wrong. But the thought process here is, once you get to second overtime, you are now playing at a disadvantage because you have now ceded the advantage that you had of knowing what you need to get. You've ceded that to the other team, and you have to go for two anyway after touchdowns in second overtime. So if this didn't matter for Baylor or Boston College or Michigan State, but had SMU scored a touchdown, which they did not do, they missed a field goal in second overtime, or had Boston College gotten Michigan State after scoring their touchdown, gotten Michigan State in situations where Michigan State had to go for it on fourth down, you know what you have to, you have 4 downs. You're in 4 down territory if you know you need a touchdown. And so you're giving up that advantage that you had in the first overtime, and you're giving it to the team in second overtime. 2-point conversions are less than 50% historically. Like, you have less than a 50% shot of making it. So I understand why a coach would feel like, well, we have a better chance of winning by stopping them. I just feel like when you are playing at a disadvantage, which your defense is, if you have to stop them 4 times from getting in the end zone, you're just playing for the third overtime at that point, because like, you score, get a 2-point conversion. Now you're playing at a disadvantage. You're playing for third overtime, which is a 2-point conversion off. Like, at that point, you're just 2-point conversioning back and forth. And so I think what you do in that situation is you get your best 2-point play. Like, usually teams have 2-point plays or 3 that you feel good about. You run your best 2-point play when their defense is on their heels. They're going to bang a timeout after the first, like, once you line up, they're going to call a timeout.
Yep.
So you can line up, call that timeout, you regroup. Again, they're on their heels. You run your best 2-point play. You'll have time to talk about it. You try and end the game there. Boston College and SMU, neither one of them did it. They both lose. Again, that doesn't mean that I'm right and they're wrong. I just think there's a different way to think about it, and I was disappointed that neither one of them took it that way, especially BC on the road. Like, on the road, you end that as soon as you can. Like, you try and get the hell out of there with the win.
Is Kevin Jennings going to be okay? That dude was hobbling at the end of the game. I don't know if it was ankle or lower leg or both.
So I was looking at QBRs this morning, just to kind of gauge where everybody is after 2 weeks. Kevin Jennings is 12th in the ACC in QBR, and there's a big gap between 11 and 12. 11 is Kyron Drones, and 12 is Kevin Jennings. Kyron Drones is at 51.8 QBR. Kevin Jennings is at 39.7. Only Robbie Ashford, Jaron Kiabe, Songapolotele, Cade Klubnik, Gio Lopez, and Ben Gilbranson have lower QBRs through 2 weeks than Kevin Jennings. I would say that's concerning, especially when your opponents have been East Texas A&M and Baylor. Now, when you play really good opponents or really bad opponents early in the year, that skews your QBR pretty significantly, because QBR is it's weighted by the opponent. So Kevin Jennings' QBR against East Texas A&M was like in the 20s because he was just okay and they're terrible. So you get dinged for that. That'll even out over the course of the season, but it still wasn't great against Baylor. Like, it was dead average, 50. So I don't know. Like, I think he'll be okay. Their backup quarterback is Tyler Van Dyke.
Wow.
So, yeah,
right.
Where in the world is TVD? I would not have guessed Dallas. Would not have known.
Yeah. So he was Red Lashley's quarterback at Miami when Red Lashley was the offensive coordinator there. Went to obviously Wisconsin, didn't work out, and basically he was going to be sort of a emergency guy, mentor, future coach, essentially, but type backup at SMU. So I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be. He was hobbling pretty bad.
What'd you make of Illinois and Duke? Final score 45-19. Not indicative of how competitive this game was. Illinois outscored Duke 31-6 in the second half, and I mentioned the turnovers. They were a problem. When you're -5 in the turnover margin, I think Duke is better than that result, frankly. But you got to give Illinois their flowers. Like, this is a team in the Big Ten that doesn't get. They don't have the sex appeal of an Ohio State or Penn State.
This is a children's show.
They don't. They're not a sexy team. At some point, I would like to talk about what Brett Bielema is doing with these defensive substitutions, because that man has found a loophole in the system, and he is using it to just piss other people off.
Going to give Manny Diaz an aneurysm.
Yeah. But what do you make of Illinois Duke? Because those two teams were not, I mean, they were on the same field for a half on Saturday in Durham, and then they weren't.
Duke engaged in a form of self-mutilation that is like biblical. Really is, man.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I'm gonna pull up the drive charts. Illinois' first drive, or first touchdown, was scored on an 18-yard drive. Why? Because Duke dropped a punt and gave Illinois the football for a touchdown. Illinois in the second half, so the game is 14-13 at halftime. In the second half, Illinois goes out and scores 11-play, 75-yard drive. Duke gets the ball back and drives to the Illinois 39. Samir Hagans has a great run, fumbles the football. That leads to Illinois' second touchdown. All right. Illinois scores its touchdown. Duke gets the ball, goes and scores. We're back to a one-score game. Duke's down by a touchdown. Illinois gets the kickoff, goes down, kicks a field goal. Okay, you're down 10. Now Duke puts together another drive, throws an interception from the Illinois 29. Like Duke fumbled the football in the game on the Illinois 18, on the Illinois 39, threw an interception on the Illinois 29. They fumbled a punt, gave the Illinois the ball on the 18, for which they scored a touchdown. Like, Duke was as good a team as Illinois in this game, save for four catastrophic mistakes. The last fumble, I mean, that's in desperation time. It led to this thing being an absolute rout, but like they were down 3 scores at the time anyway. So I'm not excusing it. It's bad, but like Duke is as good as Illinois. They just, and it's hard to stand on that because they turned the ball over 4 times when the game was in doubt, and it led to Illinois scores. At least all of them except for one led to an Illinois score. But like the turnovers for Duke killed them, and the punt return doesn't even count in that. Like the dropped punt that led to the first touchdown doesn't count in that. So I while I want to give Illinois their flowers, they did get over a hump of a team that is as good as them. Like, to me, this game is more about Duke, and I did a show with a prominent member who covers the Big Ten pretty closely yesterday, and that person was just like pouring praise on Illinois, heaping praise on Illinois for this blowout win at Duke. And yes, it was. I don't want to take that away from Illinois. Illinois deserved to win the game. Luke Altmaier was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But to suggest that they rolled over Duke is a pretty it's pretty misleading on how the game went, because Duke's, again, self-mutilation in the game is what made this a blowout. Duke was still in the game after turning the ball over essentially 3 times, and they're driving to go down 3, and they look like they're going to do it. Like, Illinois, it's not like Illinois stopped Duke a whole lot. You know how many times Duke punted in the football game?
No, not many.
One punt for Duke. Like, that was it. Duke stopped themselves. Illinois didn't stop Duke.
Yeah, it's tough. What do you make, just as like a college football rules guy, the Brett Bielema,
the defensive substitutions? Yes, thank you for bringing that up.
I mean, just is that on your radar? I don't know. I mean, it's not a
1,000%
thing to talk about, but this guy is taking advantage of the rules.
We talked about it last year in the bowl game. It's what we thought the whole Shane Beamer Brett Bielema argument was about. Turns out it was about the guy in the end zone doing the T signal, but Illinois was known to have done this. They did it all year last year. And here's the thing, dude. Referees talk about it. So if you're playing Illinois, and it's not as big a deal in the Big Ten. It's a bigger deal with the tempo teams that then substitute, and then Illinois takes forever. Mm-hmm. You have to be on the referees about, look, they have to do it in a timely manner. This isn't a saunter on the field. So for people who don't know what we're talking about, when you sub, the referee holds the football so that the defense has a reasonable amount of time to match your substitutions. This was instituted probably a decade ago so that tempo teams couldn't substitute and then still go tempo. Like, that was an advantage for tempo teams. Well, teams are known to have been to abuse this rule when they are on defense. Illinois is one of them. Tennessee's one of them. Oklahoma State's one of them. Like just habitual line steppers when it comes to it. And when you get one of these teams and you see it, like you should know. Like I certainly know as an analyst. Like this is a team that, and I talked to the referees before the game. How are you guys going to handle this? What referees should do is when a reasonable amount of time has elapsed, you release usually the umpire or the center judge. You release the center judge to go back to his position so that the offense can snap the ball, which can catch the other team with 12 guys on the field. It happened in our game, and Kalani Sitake, had it been Frank Reich was pretty pissed about it. But that's what referees should do so that you don't abuse this. And offenses have to do it. Like offenses can't do it with like 10 seconds left on the play clock. Then you're going to hold it and you're risking a delay game. But if you substitute with like 25 seconds left on the play clock, you should have time to get that snap off. And referees should release the center judge so that you can snap the ball. But Brett Bielema is a habitual line stepper when it comes to it. They are brutal.
It's amazing to watch. And again, this was a noon game. Tripp and I were in the studio for this. We're listening to the Duke radio broadcast, and like they know what's going on.
Oh yeah.
Manny Diaz knows what's going on. It's akin to like Roddy, you're a soccer guy, right? Or like you used to be. I don't know how much you are now, but it's
not as much anymore. But
in England, they call this shithousery, where basically you are diving, time wasting, rolling around, pressuring the referees. The ball goes out of bounds, and the ball boy is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna throw this out of the like. I'm not gonna hand you the ball. I'm gonna throw this out of the way so that like we have a chance to like regroup and get our stuff together." It's shithousery from Illinois. Yeah. And, you could point to like what Ole Miss has been doing the last couple of years with fake.
It's like the opposite. It's like the exact opposite of that.
It's like there is a program that is very much taking advantage, and a coach who is very much taking advantage of these rules. And until they address it, and maybe you're right, maybe it's an in-game thing where the opposing coach just has to be in the ref's ear about it. But it was front and center Saturday at Wallace Wade.
It is interesting because I don't know many Big Ten teams other than Illinois that are habitual doers of this. It's because we don't have Big Ten teams, and that's one of the things, like one of the blind spots that we will have at ESPN.
When you say we,
because you watch the film and you can get a gauge of it.
ESPN, yes, we.
Right. Yeah. And look, the Fox guys have it too. Like Fox doesn't see. I mean, Joel Klatt will see one SEC teams this year. It's Texas, like in person. That's it. The Todd Blackledge will see one ACC team this year. It's at Boston College. Like, that's it. We at least get a broad swath. We just miss all the Big Ten. And that's why it was great to have Nebraska, because, like, we had Nebraska week 1, and you deep dive on that team, and you watch so much of them that you see these things start to pop up. And you can gauge it some on film. You just don't, until you're in person, like, you just don't get the full idea of a team or a conference, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So
that's my shorter spiel there. But I don't know any other Big Ten teams that are like really bad abusers of this. You see it pop up in other leagues, and in talking to referees of those leagues, it's like, hey, who else does this? And that's where you get like in the SEC, Tennessee, pretty bad. And Tennessee got caught for it last year. It was a big point of emphasis going in. I believe it was the Georgia game, which happens this weekend. Like the Georgia game last year, Tennessee got caught, and they started releasing them. They got caught twice with 12 players on the field because they were doing the shithousery. And the referees were like, fiddle around and find out. And they found out.
Fiddle around.
Listen, Roddy, I know you do XM shows. You're allowed to use profanity on satellite radio if you want to.
I try not to.
I know you try not to, but if you want to use that, when you're doing your thing this week, I'll allow it. Okay.
It makes our producers' eyes real big when you throw in, because yesterday I said that the goings on in Gainesville, it was complete bullspit, man. It was bullspit.
We'll get to that here shortly, because I'm sure that's going to make somebody's list of best or worst thing that they saw over the weekend. One more thing from the ACC before we move on, because Tripp's got his stuff that he wants to get to. What do you make of Virginia Tech being 0-2 and the way in which they got run out of the building in the second half by Vanderbilt, which, again, perception versus reality. I know Vanderbilt's a good football team. You know that Vanderbilt's a good football team, but they are a lower tier SEC team, and they went to Lane Stadium and trailed 20-10 at halftime against Virginia Tech, and then proceeded to score 24 unanswered points. Sorry,
30.
34 unanswered points.
Yeah, you were 10 short there.
I mean, what are we doing? And what happens next?
Dude, so the way Vanderbilt did it, I think is the worst part. It's the most damning part of it. Like, Vanderbilt completely controlled the second half because Virginia Tech did not adjust to Vanderbilt's run game. You know, I try and I try and do my job, and I go back and like watch the film, like what the hell happened here? But I had to, because I didn't see this game live. Like, we were getting ready for our game. I was keeping an eye on it.
Sure, you're
we were getting
out
ready
there
for our
hiking
game.
the
So I
Y.
didn't see this
Yeah,
game live.
I get it.
So when you watch the game back and you watch the first half, you're like, how in the hell did this happen? And then you go to the second half, dude, and I mean, I might go back and like put together a tape. If I was doing an ACC network show, like a studio show, not just a podcast, where we could like pull this stuff up, I probably would pull up a tape of like the exact same formations, like Vanderbilt running a run scheme and having success with it, and then going back to the exact same formation and the exact same run 2 or 3 more times with zero adjustment for Virginia Tech, like zero. And like head scratching alignments by Virginia Tech, where you're like, dude, I mean, of course they're going to run this there. This is football 101. Like, if there's a ton of space, like there's no one from the center to outside the tight end, and there's just a backer sitting there and a safety back, of course they're going to run it here, because you got angles to down block, you kick out the end, and you've got a hole the size of Nashville for Vanderbilt to run through. Then the speed option stuff that they had, like there's a snap where, Vanderbilt's running speed option to the bound. Well, it's not really speed option. I guess it's more, traditional option, because they do fake a handoff. The defensive end, the guy who Diego Pavia is trying to pitch off of, like runs to the middle of the field, like runs to where the center is, because he's so fooled by this token fake. And Diego Pavia has no one to pitch off of. Like, he's searching. He's like, oh, you just take it. And then he goes and throws a block down the field, and they get like 10 yards of chunks. It is, for a defensive guy in Brent Pry, who has again, like, made his name off of defense, fires his defensive coordinator last year, goes and hires Sam Seifkes, a guy who had not called plays in college for a long time, if ever. I'd have to go check my notes on if he'd done it before in college. To have that display where Vanderbilt rolls up 300 plus yards in the second half, and I'm not talking about 300 like I'm not talking about like barely 300 yards, 321 yards in the second half, 199 of them on the ground. It was embarrassing. Vanderbilt had the ball for 21 minutes in the second half. 22 minutes, 21:53. So it was embarrassing to have to be run out of the stadium like that. So the where do we go from here? It's going to be tough for Brent Pry going forward. Like, I mean, they've got opportunities, just like Billy Napier. Like, they're going to have to win out, or not win out. They're going to have to win a bunch of really big or tough games. Let me pull up Virginia Tech's schedule. But I don't know, man. Like, I just don't know how this can continue if this team goes 6-6. And to be honest, the way that they performed the past 2 weeks, coming out of the South Carolina game, you actually felt pretty good about their defense. Now I don't feel good about their defense, and their offense. Yeah, like, it's one of the worst offenses in the league right now.
Yes,
it really is. So you get Old Dirty this week.
Watch out.
Watch out. I'm with you, Tripp. Old Dirty Minion has gotten him a couple times. You get Wofford after that, so you better be 2-2 going into NC State. That NC State team looks like it's a better football team than Virginia Tech. Wake Forest, we don't know. Georgia Tech, you're at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech team feels like a better football team than Virginia Tech. Now you're sitting there going into a bye week. If you can win Old Dirty and Wofford, you're sitting there at 3-4 going into the bye week, with Cal and Louisville, Florida State, Miami, and Virginia left.
Woo! Woo-hoo! Yeah,
doesn't feel good.
No,
doesn't feel good.
No,
and I like Brent Pry, man. I really do. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, Tripp,
one of my favorites.
Got to hang out with him at ACC Media Days. He's like, I think he got a Virginia Tech tattoo after that. He's like,
he's a great
I love
guy.
this guy.
Here's the other thing, dude. if you're Virginia Tech, first off, the AD is very much in trouble as well. I think they clean house. I think it's AD because the AD now, since Frank Beamer's gone, will have had Justin Fuente and Brent Pry, and like Virginia Tech cannot have that.
Right.
There's also the talk, like Ben Hartzell keeps challenging me on this Virginia Tech thing on Sirius XM, and he's like, "What is the ACC's obsession with Virginia Tech? Why?" Which has opened my eyes to like how Virginia Tech is perceived outside of ACC country, which is like good, a fine program, but like we talk about Virginia Tech, like Big Ten people talk about Nebraska. Like those two things, like those two programs aren't comparable. Frank Beamer went to one national championship. Nebraska's won a bajillion. And like in that time where Virginia Tech went to one, Nebraska won like 3 and had Heisman Trophy winners and all that stuff. Like we're still living off of the notion that Virginia Tech was the class of the ACC in the early 2000s, but whenever they went and played on a national stage in those BCS games, they got their ass kicked.
Yes.
So he has sort of opened my eyes to this. Like I have been trumpeting needed Virginia Tech to get back. We need Virginia Tech to get back. But like maybe we're just romancing this, what Virginia Tech was. And the league has actually gotten better, which it has. The league has gotten better since that Virginia Tech run of dominance with Clemson and Florida State. But man, I don't know. Last thing, I know I'm going a long time.
No, this is great. This is good stuff. That's why you're here.
What Virginia Tech is now facing is the prospect or the idea that, you know, you look at what John Summerall is doing at Tulane, you're like, we could probably be better with that guy, even if he brings his whole Tulane team. You're looking at what Alex Golesh is doing at South Florida, and he's probably coached himself out of Virginia Tech. Like he's probably coached himself into Auburn or Florida, not Virginia Tech.
Easy.
But you're looking at Alex Golesh, and I 100%. I text this to somebody after the Boise win. I'm like, man, if you're Virginia Tech, like why wouldn't you go get that dude? They're physical, they're fun, like he's got the right mentality. But again, like now I think he's probably out of your price range if you're Virginia Tech. But that's what you're now into. Like you're looking around like, hey man, if we had this guy, we'd be better off, which is a bad place to be.
Yeah.
And that especially for a coach.
Yeah. Or you drive up I-81 north for a couple hours. You pull off exit 245. You know what I'm saying? Just saying.
Get McVay's little brother.
We'll see about Bob Chesney.
Handsome ass Bob Chesney up there.
He is handsome. That's a handsome man.
Yeah, that's a good looking dude. That's a good looking dude. I was like, Jen, I got my wife in the room. I'm like, babe, what do you think of that guy? I mean, he ain't me, but like, what do you think of that guy? I'm just saying. He's star power.
Smaller than you think, but
that was when
it
was still tied in the first half, and Roddy wasn't chirping at me. All right, Tripp.
Yeah.
Best
he's
thing
not
you
Marcus
saw, worst
Freeman.
thing
Like
you
my
saw.
wife's not allowed to watch Notre Dame games because of Marcus Freeman, but
I don't blame you.
Nobody is.
That's a business decision by you, brother.
But Bob
That's a smart
Chesney,
move.
yeah, man, yeah. He got 6 kids, and I can see why. Go ahead, Tripp.
All right, we're talking takeaways. So I'll lead us off with the best thing I saw all weekend. I had down USF, but I know we're going to talk about them, so I'll skip that. I'm also going to skip Vandy because we just talked about Vandy and what they did to Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. What about Mississippi State?
How about Mississippi State?
How about that, man? What a fun ending. And like I stayed away from that game. It was not one of my picks, so I was able to just kind of enjoy that for Mississippi State. But good on them. I mean, what a game, too. It's awesome.
What is that? What is like perception wise? What do you think that means for the Big 12? I don't know. Like the Big 12's champion just went to Starkville, a team that was 15th in the ACC last year and lost. Like that's not a good look, man.
Yeah,
it's a bad look, especially when you have like Virginia Tech losing to Vandy is one thing because Virginia Tech was never expected to contend, but Arizona State was the unofficial Big 12 favorite for some, not for me, but for some. It's not great because here's the thing: Mississippi State's not finishing higher than 10th in that league.
That's probably accurate. Yeah, I would agree. But you mentioned that league, Roddy. What does it mean for the Big 12? I mean, you know what it doesn't mean? It doesn't just mean more because you got to go to the SEC. You got to play some of these bottom-tier SEC teams on the road. Uh-oh. I'm happy for Blake Shapen.
I am
that
too.
That dude was hurt last year. He stuck around. Like, good on him. Good on Jeff Lebby. I don't know how many more wins there are going to be in Starkville, to your point, Roddy, because that SEC schedule is coming, and it ain't easy. But good on y'all,
is
man.
their schedule brutal?
You went 2-10 last year. You've already
God,
matched last season's
dog.
win total. So
And
good on
they
y'all.
also kind of blew a big lead there.
Kind
and
of.
then were able to respond, you know.
They're on 17-0.
I just pulled up Mississippi State's SEC schedule.
It's not easy.
Tennessee at A&M, Florida at Florida.
Win.
They can get that one. Texas at Arkansas, Georgia at Missouri, Ole Miss. God, dog, that's tough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ranked teams.
So it was fun while it lasted.
No, it'll be fun the next couple weeks. Alcorn, Illinois, Northern Illinois, and then they get Tennessee. I think here's the thing though, dude. Like they will be. I think it's a ball game against Florida and Arkansas. Both of those are on the road though. You don't love that, but that's a good enough offense with an experienced quarterback that like it's one of those fiddle around and find out teams, man. Like
That's got to go on a T-shirt. Fiddle around and find out.
well, I don't want to say like I'm trying
I appreciate
get the
that.
F
Thank
word
you.
out of here.
Thank you.
So I like fiddle around.
Fiddle's better, honestly.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
All right,
Steven,
Hartzell,
are you up?
want to go?
Yeah, I mean, best thing I saw over the weekend. There are a lot of places to take this. I'm going to Eugene because again, I know a lot of people don't watch West Coast football. They just think that it doesn't exist. It's not a thing that happens. But what Oregon is doing with Dante Moore, I know who it's been against. All right, Montana State and Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State plays Power 4 football. Like we can't just
Allegedly.
excuse that.
Allegedly, they do.
As of 3 years ago, this team was like a contender. They were in the Big 12 championship game.
The fall off has been incredible to watch. I mean, Oklahoma State went 3-9 last year, and they look like they're on par with like Stanford and Wake Forest and Purdue. Is just one of the dregs of the P4. But Dante Moore is that man looks like the one who was promised. Okay.
Yeah.
There are a lot of weapons on this Oregon team. Noah Whittington at running back, Mekhi Hughes, the Tulane transfer. I don't know if you've watched Decorian Moore, the tight end.
Have I watched? No, you mean Kenyon Sadiq.
Kenyon Sadiq's the tight end. You got Decorian Moore at wide receiver, McClellan at wide. Like, dude, Kenyon Sadiq looks like, I mean, I'm kind of getting some Kyle Pitts vibes off that dude. And they don't even throw to him that much.
First rounder.
No, they don't.
Just like Kyle Pitts in Atlanta. They don't really throw to him that much.
Sadiq was Terrence Ferguson's backup last year. But I had an Oregon guy tell me, like, bro, Kenyon Sadiq's the truth.
Yeah.
The truth. I was like, why isn't he playing more? He's like, oh, because Terrence Ferguson is like also almost the truth.
Here's what I'm trying to say. For whatever reason, Fox Big Noon decided that they want to check out the Lakefront Stadium in Evanston this weekend. Oregon at Northwestern. Do yourself a favor, okay? Pour yourself a cup of yerba mate or whatever Roddy drinks these days. Tune in at noon Eastern for a little Oregon Northwestern and watch these boys cook. They're a lot of fun. That's the most impressive thing I saw.
Yeah. There's a couple quarterback situations that preseason I thought were like these guys who have checkered pasts, if you will, are going to succeed. It was Dante Moore at Oregon and it was Carson Beck at Miami. And because of talent, situation, just peace of mind, offense, like all of it coming together, I thought was really going to work well. And both of them definitely have so far.
Yeah, Roddy's been picking Miami to be back for the last 6 years. And
it's not true.
Through 2 weeks this season, he might have something, folks.
I had it through 9 weeks last season.
Please.
I did not pick them to be back last year, for the record.
Come on, Roddy.
I didn't.
You ain't fooling anybody.
I did not. Dude, I thought Clemson was the class of that league last year. I was wrong. But I thought Clemson was the class of that league last year. And I picked Clemson to win the ACC every year for like the last 10. Because 10 years ago, I said I was going to pick Clemson for the next 10 years because of their talent. So I have. And I've been wrong like 3 times. It's a pretty good percentage. Best thing I saw. How about the border war? Mizzou, Kansas, Bo Pribula, 334 and 3. Jamal Roberts and Ahmad Hardy going over 100 on the ground. They fell behind 20. Was it 21 zip Was that the score at one point?
I don't think it was 12.
They were down
21-6.
I think they were down 16 or 15.
Yeah, 21-6 in the first quarter, and they just started chipping away. Mizzou tied it at halftime, and that's when you knew Kansas was in trouble. Kansas had a lead though in the second half, and then Mizzou able to pull away. I thought it was awesome to have that game back. And dude, we need to put some respect on Mizzou's name. We do, because no one talks about Mizzou. Nobody talks about Mizzou, and all they've done is win double-digit games the past 2 years. Eli Drinkwitz has done a hell of a job with the Missouri Tigers, and you talk about SEC schedules. Mentioned it earlier with Mississippi State. I look at Mizzou's, pretty manageable. South Carolina,
always manageable.
It does seem like for like a decade
that's
it's been
part of the problem.
Schedule.
It's like, yeah, Missouri, you played 2 ranked teams last year. How'd it go? You got smoked. But everybody else, they handle their business.
They will get more than 2 ranked teams this year. They got South Carolina coming up in a couple weeks. They play Alabama, which, like, what Alabama will we see? They're at Auburn. All 3 of those teams are ranked right now. At Vandy, probably could be ranked at some point this year. A&M, Mississippi State, at Oklahoma, Arkansas. The reason I say, even though they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ranked teams on there, the reason I say pretty manageable is those are not the ranked teams that are the juggernauts. That's not your Georgias, even though Georgia played with its food against Austin Peay. It's not your Texases. You got Alabama, but Alabama looks pretty flawed. It's not your LSUs. Those 3, I think, are the 3 that you want to miss. Probably Tennessee in there too. Those 3.5 are the ones that you want to miss. Still questions at A&M. South Carolina's offense did not look good against Virginia Tech. Auburn, do you believe? I reserve the right to change my mind on Auburn. And Oklahoma. Like, I think Oklahoma is the best of that group personally. But Mizzou, pretty manageable down the stretch.
Hey, Mizzou, don't screw around this week. Don't get caught looking ahead to South Carolina. Don't
Michael
screw
Desimo
around
and them
this
boys.
week.
And them boys, them Ridge and Cajuns.
Can you cover that 23-point spread?
All
right.
23.
Worst thing you saw last week. I'll keep it on the West Coast. I'll go ahead and raise my hand. I've had UCLA on my card 2 weeks.
Why, Tripp?
Like, man, well, here's the thing. Basically just fading you in week 1, but week 2 is completely on me. You got to think, hey, we just got embarrassed at home. We're going to be motivated to play UNLV, who is not that good and was in a fight for their lives against Idaho State in week 0. Didn't turn out too well. I don't know what they're paying Nico, but maybe they can get a refund or something. Oregon State, same thing. You're 0-2 in Reser Stadium to start the year. Like, I'll forgive you for week 1. Didn't realize the kid from Cal was going to be that good. But week 2, that's unforgivable. You can't do what you did in week 2 against a Fresno team that's not that good. So those West Coast teams have really let me down, and they're both they're the first 2 teams to be on my 3-strike lookout for this season before I just won't touch them again.
I mean, I talked to Wayne on Wednesdays, and
it's going to be rough.
I don't have anything that I think 23-0 hole at UNLV. I just that was your first half come out of the gates response. 23-0 hole.
This is year 2 for Deshaun Foster. He's obviously sparring with the media out there a little bit. Like, if you're UCLA, this is a serious question. Like, it's a proud program. Do people care enough? Because if you look at, like, the backup quarterback gets arrested on an on an unspecified felony charge, you're getting your ass kicked on the field. Your coach is like, I don't know Deshaun Foster, and so I don't want to, like, cast anything out there that's not true. Like, maybe he's a great dude, but he's not a great representative of the program, because the thing that people know about Deshaun Foster is the absolute debacle of an opening press conference at Big Ten Media Days, the fact that his team's not good, and tough, gritty team last year, like plucky, but they're not winning games. And he's sparring with the media and not letting them out. Like, from a national standpoint, I'm just like, that's the perception of Deshaun Foster. And on the field, the Nico Iamaleava drama has ended with Nico at UCLA, and he's not getting help. The offensive line isn't good. I don't think they have enough playmakers around him. But people are looking at that like, damn, Tennessee made off like bandits. They saved themselves millions, and they got the better end of the deal. So, like, do people? This is a serious question, and this would be a question for Wayne. Do people out there care enough to demand change? Because you need to demand change. And here's the thing, dude. At this point, like Martin Jarman, we got to be asking questions about him. He did a good job at Boston College, and sure, the rest of the programs might be great. Baseball had a good year last year. Women's basketball obviously had a good year. I don't know about the men's. Men's hoops, didn't they have a decent year last year? I don't know.
Tournament, Mick Cronin. Yeah, they're fine.
So maybe that's the judgment of the program is the entirety of it. But the football product, you're a misfit in the Big Ten. You're a cast off. Nobody thinks about UCLA. Like, does UCLA care enough to want to be good at football? Would be my question. Because if not, like, we talk about UCLA because obviously the connection with Wayne, and I pay attention to him because of Wayne, not solely because of Wayne, because you have to, but like, let's just say I pay more attention to the bottom of the Big Ten UCLA wise than I do Northwestern. because of Wayne, like, I want to be able to have conversations with him about it. I want UCLA to be good, like it's a brand, and I think the West Coast teams are fascinating in the Big Ten. But like, man, what are we doing?
I think, and I don't want to steal Wednesday's show from Wayne, but he won't say this. The city of Los Angeles, Southern California in general, there are a lot of other options.
No, but I'm like UCLA. I'm not even talking about the city of Los Angeles. I'm talking about UCLA people, like the UCLA fan. Are there enough of them?
No.
Do they care
enough
to demand change?
Which
is sort of foreign to me in this part of the country, because every brand name school in this part of the country has enough. Even Georgia Tech got to the point with Jeff Collins where they were like, look, man, it is they fired everybody. Like, the president was like, nah, bro, we are flushing this thing, because he got enough pressure that people were tired of being embarrassed by Jeff Collins.
Yeah.
So that thing got flushed. Like, we'll see what happens at Virginia Tech, but I can assure you, NC State's tired of Dave Doran, and they win 9 games a year.
Yeah,
like,
I know. Yeah, you're not wrong.
And the West Coast, like, oh, we need to pay attention to West Coast football. We play football out here too. Honestly, like, this is the example that I think people from the Southeast would throw out. Like, you gonna let that happen consistently? Like, it's been 2 years. That's enough time, bro. That's enough time to not be getting your ass kicked by Dan Mullen's UNLV team that just lost. Who did UNLV lose to in week 1?
Oh, they're 3-0. They had to come from behind to beat Idaho State.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Idaho State.
Idaho State.
Yeah.
It was Idaho State.
It's been
felt like a loss.
It's been a rough start for UCLA, who is 0-2.
Anthony Calandria beat Nico Iamaleava.
Yeah, look, it was 23-0. It wasn't like to your point, Tripp. You're like, all right, you'll make a step from week 1 to week 2. Utah was really good, but you came out of the gates and spotted UNLV in a half-empty Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, 23 points. Like, that's
very
disappointing.
disappointing.
Yeah, that's rough. Speaking
and look, man,
of disappointing,
yeah, go ahead. You go.
Let's go to Gainesville. Let's just do it now. I'll rip it off. Florida losing at home. You're talking about Deshaun Foster in year 2. Well, Billy Napier's in year 4, and you lost at home to one of those schools in the state of Florida that you cannot lose to. You just can't. When you're Florida and you got UCF or USF on the schedule, you have to handle your business. Miami and Florida State, obviously different stories based on where those programs are at. And we know where the Noles have been the last couple of years, and good on Florida for handling their business. They did not handle their business on Saturday, and this was classic Florida Gators football. Penalties, bad quarterback play. You had multiple touchdowns taken off the board because of laundry on the field. Billy Napier coached scared. He was playing for field goals instead of, like, Roddy, you're the analytics guy on the show, but, like, when it's 4th and 2, 4th and 3 and plus territory, you go for it. You're Florida. You're playing USF. And USF is very good. I will give them their flowers. We'll see what it looks like the rest of the way in the American. But, I mean, they are 2-0 with ranked wins over Boise and Florida, and they go to Miami Saturday, and they are catching a bunch of points. But this was on Florida. This is inexcusable, and it's been a tough weekend for me because obviously people are like, you're a Florida fan. What's going on? I felt worse for my dad because my dad was texting me on Saturday afternoon. He saw it coming. And Pops, if you're listening, don't look at the rest of Florida's schedule this year because it could get worse. Frankly, could get way worse.
Let's be a little positive. A little positive. Florida has great opportunity in front of them, and if Billy Napier goes on a run, coaches himself off the hot seat again, he will have deserved it because they got a gauntlet. Mm-hmm. They had one last year too, but you are correct, man. Like you look at I'm going back and looking at the Florida 4th down decisions. So they had a 4th and 6 early on. Okay, kick the field goal. They had a 4th and 14, kick the field goal. 4th and 4, kick the field goal. That's fine. You go to the second half, and Florida goes and 4th and that was the safety. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out what the distances was, so I don't speak out of turn. But anyway, the ultimately, yes, I do agree with you. The drive before South Florida's final drive, where Florida gets the ball back with 2:51. Do you know how much time elapsed off the clock before Florida punted back to South Florida?
It was like a minute. 2 minutes.
Less than that. So Florida gets the ball back with 2:51 left in the 4th quarter. By the time South Florida gets the ball back, it's 2:25, like 27 seconds off the clock in 4 plays because you have an incomplete pass, a run where South Florida calls a timeout, and then an incomplete pass. And in that situation, I understand what you're doing, but you just like there was so much time, and I don't know, I don't know what the because if they'd have played it conservative, they'd have just drawn the timeouts. We'd have been like, well, Billy was playing scared that way too. It just gives South Florida so much time, man. So ultimately, yes, I think that Billy Napier in that game, his decision should be questioned. The 4th down decision should be questioned. Ultimately, this is about not getting your team ready to play against what should be an inferiorly talented team. So, yeah, I don't know.
DJ Lagway, who everybody loves, has regressed, it would appear. Go back, even the Long Island game.
Dude.
He didn't look great in week 1. Like, there were a lot of 3-and-outs there. And so here we are. Like, I think this team being a preseason top 15 ranking in hindsight was clearly a mistake. But, like, these guys clearly thought they were better than they are. And we'll see where they go from here. Because, like you said, Roddy, starting with LSU Saturday, bro, they have 4 teams on their schedule ranked in the top 10 right now. 4.
Yeah, it's tough. What was DJ Lagway's record last year? It was like 6-1.
6-1 as a starter.
Yeah, but he was a true freshman last year. True freshman that misses a bunch of time in the spring because of a shoulder, misses a bunch of time in camp because of a calf or whatever. Like we just excuse that. And I said this on College Football Live, man. I was like, hey man, this was in comparison. It was because coming into the year, they did their top 100 players on ESPN.com. And ESPN loves to promote its own stuff. So we had a show. We were talking about that. And I was talking about Carson Beck. He was the 9th quarterback on that list. The 9th. Behind Arch Manning, DJ Lagway, Lenore Sellers, and others. Like there were obviously not 8 quarterbacks above him. Some of them understandable. Cade Klubnik, Garrett Nussmeier. Now, I think we would revise that. But my thing comparing DJ Lagway, I was like, DJ Lagway's got 7 starts. DJ Lagway missed the chunk of spring and fall. And we're worried about Carson Beck's injury because he missed the spring. Like Carson Beck has thrown for 7,000 yards in the SEC. This guy's played 7 games. And we're not at all concerned about him missing time, about him having new receivers and not developing that chemistry. Like the dude going into his sophomore season, and we're talking about the guy like he's been around for a decade. But this is what we do with the new stuff. Like we've seen too much of Carson Beck. We'd seen too much of these other guys. Like the DJ Lagway thing, you could have seen it from a mile away. Why? Because he's young. He's a young quarterback that needs reps. Everybody's got film on him now. And when you get those new guys in, you have to be available and be around to be able to develop. And so the regression is there, and it's natural. Because if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Ain't no staying the same. There's my DJ Lagway piece. He may end up being great. I hope he does. But, like, you can't be hurt all offseason and be like, yep, I'm picking up right where I left off.
Just keep that golf cart gassed up down there in Gainesville. You never know when he's going to need it.
Lord.
I'm not rooting for injuries, Tripp, like you, but yeah.
I'm just saying, just keep it gassed up.
Okay, very good.
Or keep it charged up. I don't know what kind they have down there.
Is it my turn? Yeah, worst thing I saw. I think you got to go to the upstate of South Carolina. Let's go to the upstate.
What happened?
Clemson was down 16-3 at halftime to Troy. Mustered a whole three plats at halftime. Now, they did go on a run in the second half, outscored Troy 24-0, ended up winning 27-16. But Clemson offense is broken. Cade Klubnik has been under duress more than we thought. Maybe LSU broke him with the pressure that they put on him. But, man, he's late on a bunch of throws, and some of the reads that he's making are a little confusing. Like, there's a play where they've got simple concept. Go on the outside, out from the slot. Tyler Brown is the out route. Cade Klubnik drops back to pass, and it looks like cover 4. So the secondary is flat across, like the two safeties and the corners are on the same level. Generally, that is an indication that you're getting cover 4. Everybody's got deep quarter of the field. So you would guess an out route would be open against cover 4 because that slot has to be covered by either an outside backer tracking from inside out or a safety coming down. What you are afraid of in that situation is an inversion or a rotation. So a corner comes down and plays the flat, safety stays back and plays the go. So Cade Klubnik snaps the ball, looks to the out route's open. If he throws it as soon as the guy breaks, boom, he's got a completion. That's his first read. Well, he ends up kind of pumping because he doesn't like something. What I guess he sees is the corner flat-footed. The corner's flat-footing it, looking like he's going to break. Well, if Cade is afraid of that, in my opinion, I've never been a quarterback, but just watching football, if you're afraid of that, you stay to that side because then the go is going to be open down the sideline. At worst, you throw a hole shot, which is a shot in between the safety and the corner on the sideline. Safety is going to be over the top, corner underneath. Throw that hole shot, get it there. Guy gets a chunk play. Or if the corner is just flat-footed, guy's going to run by him, you throw it over the top. What ends up happening, Cade sees that pump, spooked, goes to the other side, and they get like a 10-yard gain. But what Cade saw was like kind of right. The corner did flat-foot and was going to break on that out route. He wouldn't have gotten there had he thrown it on time. But what ends up happening is that the go ends up being wide open down the sideline because that guy's flat-footed. And that to me just felt like a guy who's not seeing it well. Because if you're afraid of that corner, then stay there. Stay to that side for another beat to see if your guy runs by him and then throw it down the sideline for a touchdown. He doesn't do that. He got his receivers killed a couple times because he's late, missed a couple windows. Like, something's going on there with Cade. That's concerning. And the offensive numbers end up looking okay. Like Bryant Wesco ends up over 100 yards receiving. Adam Randall ends up with over 100 yards on the ground. But running the football was not an easy task for them against Troy, and certainly wasn't easy against LSU. They've got issues blocking at the running back position, both on runs and passes. The defense has not been as dominant as we thought, although the defense only gave up 9 points in this game because Cade threw a pick 6 on a tip ball. It's not good right now in Clemson offensively, and they go down to the flats this week and play Georgia Tech.
Well, and let me just keep it there for a second, Roddy, because as a proud alum of the Institute, do you see a potential scenario on Saturday where, hey, here comes Clemson, little old Clemson, hadn't played a 4-quarter football game, hasn't looked great, searching for answers. Now they get to they go down I-85 South, and they put it on the Jackets because that's
absolutely. That is an outcome that is possible.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like, hey, we're on the road. People think we suck. Let's find it against a team that is feeling good about themselves in Tech.
Well, here's the other thing about Georgia Tech. This has not gotten a lot of pub anywhere. Tripp, you're shaking your head, but I'll let you rebuttal after this. Haynes King didn't play last week.
That's
like
correct.
everybody thought like, oh, Haynes King, can they run him that much coming out of college? Turns out, no, he's already missed the game.
That's correct.
They broke him in the first game.
Yeah.
Like, bro, this has been his entire career.
Yes.
We've talked about the injury issues with Haynes King. It lasted one game. He probably could have played. He warmed up. He probably could have played had it been somebody else. But, like, we are at the point in the season, 2 games in, where your quarterback needs load management.
Mm-hmm.
Concern.
Yes.
The other part of it, do you know how many times Georgia Tech has turned the football over in its first 3 possessions of the last 2 games? So that's 6 possessions total. First 3 against Colorado, first 3 against Gardner-Webb.
6.
5.
All right,
they turned it over the first 2 against Gardner-Webb and the first 3 against Colorado. Like, this is a team that obviously doesn't value the football as much as they did last year. So, yeah, Clemson could go out and put it on that ass very easily because that defensive line is still very talented. And if you're not taking care of the football, then it could be an issue. The thing on the other side of that is Georgia Tech has been a big game hunting team since Brent Key got there. They've performed really well against ranked ACC teams. They have. So
is Clemson still ranked? I didn't even know if they were still.
Yeah,
I mean,
so.
that's embarrassing if they are.
They
it's
are.
Embarrassing.
They're in
yeah,
there.
they're still ranked.
They're in there.
What are they? 15, something like that. 12. They're 12th team in the country. Dropped 4 spots. Precipitous fall from Clemson. What were you going to say, Tripp?
What are we doing? What are we doing? Why is Clemson still ranked? Anyways, Clemson, I'll tell you this. I have 0 interest in the Clemson Tigers this weekend, even though that line has, you know what? Let's get
it's hanging out around like 9 or 10, isn't it?
No, not anymore. By the last time I looked yesterday, okay, yeah, no, you're right. 9.5. 9.5. I have 0 interest in the Clemson Tigers.
I have a lot of interest, but
we'll Saturday.
Save that for Friday.
I think they're going to lose straight up. But Roddy kind of stole. So the thing that shocked you, that was my thing that shocked me was Troy leading 16-zip in the second quarter against the Clemson team that was a 31-point favorite, something like that. And you think, hey, big time bounce back spot here. That was one of my favorite plays of the week was Clemson to cover a big spread. So that didn't work out. But the only thing I'll say about Clemson is it's just different, man. When you don't have Deshaun Watson and you don't have Trevor Lawrence, it's just different. And I don't think Cade Klubnik's ever looked like one of those guys to me.
We are so like I'm to the point, Tripp, where we're in a different era of Clemson football. Like I don't even compare it back to the glory days. Like I don't, because they don't have Deshaun Watson. They don't have T. Higgins. They don't have, Christian Wilkins. They're supposed to have a Christian Wilkins this year. Peter Woods, he's been very good. But like we're in a different era. Like I am more concerned about like this Clemson offensive line that was supposed to be so good this year. This was supposed to be the best Clemson offensive line maybe that Dabo's ever had. So you talk about Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson and all that stuff. They didn't have great offensive lines. I was doing this leading up to the LSU game. LSU had as many linemen drafted in last year's NFL draft as Clemson has had drafted the last decade, offensive linemen. 10 years, Clemson's had 4 offensive linemen drafted. LSU did that in 1 year. So through that run of Deshaun and Trevor, they didn't have great offensive lines. They had great skill and great defenses and playmakers. This is a new era. Like this to me was going to be about a holistic team. It wasn't going to be about Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson. And plus, like that was flushed to me through the Will Shipley era at Clemson. Like we have entered a new situation at Clemson. This was supposed to be an offensive line that was experienced, a play caller that had been there for 3 years, a defense that was going to regain what it had under Brent Venables because Tom Allen was coming over. And Dabo was like, none of that stuff that offseason talk played out other than Tom Allen on defense, I'm not even sure Tom Allen on defense has been as good as maybe they should be. They were good in that LSU game, but I don't know, man. Like, I'm concerned about Clemson, not necessarily in the ACC and not necessarily this weekend, although it is, if they lose this weekend, I think it's time to press the panic button. It really is.
I think I'd be very worried about them in the ACC because they haven't looked at all the part of a team that was supposed to be, I would think, kind of head and shoulders above the rest. Miami kind of a step down. That's what our expectation was going into the season, but I think they've come way, way back down to the pack here.
I just like, they've been so good against the ACC that there's still this intimidation factor, I think. Maybe that veil is coming down a little bit as they have been beaten by teams more recently in the ACC. Louisville beat them last year. SMU played them close. Who else they lose to in the ACC last year? I can't remember. But
Pitt almost beat them with a back.
Pitt almost beat them. Yep. So I just think there's still that intimidation factor in the ACC, and they're so much better on the defensive line than everybody else, other than maybe Duke. Like, Duke's defensive line is really good, and Miami. And Florida State, maybe. I don't know. I don't know about the statement of the ACC. The thing is, though, they do have to play Florida State, so like that is now once again one of those games where you're like, okay, Clemson, you're gonna have to come to play.
I'm not ready to carve Clemson's epitaph just yet. Although Saturday should be.
If they lose to Georgia Tech, will you be carving it? Like, will you be?
I might be carving it. I might be carving it Saturday at around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Let's just wait and see. Like you said, who's playing quarterback for the Jackets on Saturday? Don't know.
Yeah, if it's Aaron Philo, I think there's reason for concern because Aaron Philo has not exactly been great at taking care of the football over the course of his career at Georgia Tech.
That's
young player, but
like
I'd
him.
be concerned. Like him too, but
love Haynes though if he's healthy. Anyway, thing that shocked me over the weekend, Roddy, I'll tee you up for what you're going to see on Saturday with the Backyard Brawl because you will be on the call of this. West Virginia with Rich Rod's return to Morgantown. That's the best y'all got at quarterback? Like, in this day and age, when you can splash the cash and go get somebody, I'm not here to bang on a guy who is 100 times better of an athlete than I am in Nico Marchiol, but bro, I watched the Ohio game. Admittedly, I didn't watch much of Robert Morris in week 1 because it's West Virginia versus Robert Morris.
Bob Morris.
But when you got to go to the other Athens and play a MAC team and you go 3 and out 7 times, like West Virginia had now their star running back, Jaheim White, is out for the year with a lower leg injury, and that's awful. But Nico ain't it. The other Nico at quarterback, he looked really bad. And so for me, again, it's college football in 2025. If you need a quarterback, you know what you do. You pass around the collection plate and you go get a quarterback. And Rich Rod was like, nah, we good. I like this guy. And that's concerning to me. And I was shocked. Because I watched it. A lot of people thought Ohio was going to be a live dog on Saturday. Turns out they very much were. Mm-hmm. But West Virginia was toothless. I mean, they had no offense. And that was concerning. That shocked me on Saturday. So enjoy Morgantown this weekend, buddy.
I certainly will.
You ever been up there?
Will. Yeah, twice, 2 or 3 times.
Can I give you a local recommendation?
Sure. Love local recs.
Tudor's Biscuit World.
Tutors.
You know about this?
No.
Like TOOT?
No, like a tutor, like a teacher. TUDOR. This is it doesn't hey, listen, you're not going to be impressed with this place on the outside. Like it looks like a Biscuitville. It looks like a Bojangles. I mean, this is literally a drive-through establishment, but they're all over the state.
Tutor as in a teacher is TUTOR, right?
Whatever. The point is these biscuits will rock your world, dog. Like they are.
What kind of biscuit do we need to get?
Everything. They have it all. Like check out their menu. Like they have all kinds of biscuit combinations. Some of them have, like your basic standard sausage, egg, and cheese. They have some that have hash browns. They have some that have steak, pork. Like it will blow your mind. I'm just listen. I know you like to eat healthy on the road, Roddy. Like your body is your temple, okay?
It's
but
not.
maybe just snag like a couple. You know what I'm saying? Just like put them in your book bag. You might.
My body's like a rock concert. Like we are here to party.
Is it? Okay. Well, in that case, Tudor's Biscuit World. You're welcome.
Oh, it's great. I won't say this shocked me, but I would, I think we haven't talked about Oklahoma and Michigan at all, so I'll put that in this category. Wasn't the thing that shocked me over the weekend, but Oklahoma might be back, bro. They might be. John Mateer, everyone John Mateer is now the Heisman favorite. We'll see. Jury's still out for me on John Mateer.
Wait, what do you mean? Pause real quick. Let me bang a 30-second timeout. He is the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman Trophy today?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
That shouldn't be the case.
Well, I don't see why not. He's got one of the best wins, and they've also got, you talk about tough schedules. The back end of Oklahoma's schedule is absolute murderer's row. I mean, if they make the playoff, if they go 9-3, I think that guy's absolutely in New York.
Yeah, crazy, because this time a week ago, everybody was saying John Mateer hasn't done it against anybody with a pulse.
You didn't hear me say that.
Let's see.
I heard Roddy and his people talking about it nonstop.
Here we go. One day ago, Heisman Trophy odds. I'm sorry, Garrett Nussmeier is still the odds-on favorite. John Mateer is second. Although
What are
I'm
the
sure
odds on Mateer? What's the line?
Plus 800, 8-1.
I mean,
Garrett Nussmeier's plus 700, so it's pretty close.
John Mateer is very good.
Yeah, he's very good. The jury's still out. Like, he puts the ball in danger too much still for me.
He's a little cavalier with the football, no doubt.
And I
That
think
boy can scoot now.
he can run. He can run. And Ben Arbuckle's done a great job with him. Michigan, I think Michigan's a good defense. He will see other good defenses. So we'll see. But like Oklahoma, I think is a team to be respected. Like, that's a team that should continue to be good this year, and the quarterback play is much better. So again, it wasn't shocking the way that they beat Michigan, because they went pretty conservative in the second half too.
Very.
Because John Mateer put the ball in some dangers, and let's downshift this thing.
Sure.
They're not going to score on us. But I thought there were positives from Bryce Underwood too. I really did.
Lots of positives. You need to get that man some help, Michigan.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a starting quarterback try to fight you on the sideline?
Nesbitt probably would have, but he was my boy, so probably no. But I wouldn't. Nobody wanted to get in a fight with Nesbitt. He massive ham hocks. Like, Nesbitt put that balled that fist up, and that thing was like an anvil coming at you.
I saw a clip over the summer. I shared this with you. I tagged you on socials. You didn't take the bite. It was the Florida State game where Nesbitt tosses it back to you. You fumble the football, or it bounces off your hands, and then Nesbitt goes in and just pries it away from an FSU defender. Yep. In that moment, he didn't take you over to the sidelines afterwards and just, kind of jack you up a little bit. Like, come on.
Oh, I told you he was my boy. He's like, we had been through battle. Well, that was in 2009. We'd been through battles by that point. He's like, come on, man. What are you doing? I was like, man, you saved me. You saved me, dog. Like, I love you.
Were you there when they beat FSU in Tallahassee? Like, it was a weather delay or something?
Yeah, that was that game. That's the game Steven's talking about.
Demarius Thomas was there?
Oh, yeah.
Is that right?
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that game.
Dwyer took the Christian Ponder drove him down, scored a touchdown. Dwyer took the second play that we ran for a touchdown. Then we had like a 2-hour weather delay.
Wow, yeah.
And then we ended up winning a game in a shootout.
Loaded Georgia Tech offense. Yep. Yourself
that was
included,
a great game,
Roddy, of course. Georgia Tech may or may not be back. We'll find out Saturday afternoon around 3:30. Okay, once the dust settles down on the flats.
They're back.
I don't know about that.
I'm going to have a take. They're back.
Wow. Tuesday take. We'll see.
Tuesday takes day.
Roddy, anything else from the weekend before Rodstra looks into the crystal ball?
We talked some Baylor SMU, right? Did we talk about that? It's not great for SMU.
More so from the SMU perspective, but Sawyer Robertson.
Good for Baylor.
That man can. I mean, you lose that game, you're 0-2. I mean,
yeah. Couple other things. Good on Iowa State finding a way to win. Iowa might be terrible still.
Dude, Iowa State has won 2 rivalry games.
Yeah.
Like, they're sitting there at 3-0. Rocco Becht, who's shorter than I am.
It's not
somehow. The K-State win is looking worse by the minute.
No doubt.
Yeah, how about K-State? Good on Army. Good on Army.
How about Rodstra? He saw it. He saw it through the flames. Picked
I did.
Army last week.
Did he?
Yeah,
Nice.
great pick.
Did
Very
you watch
nice.
any of Georgia sleepwalking through Austin P after a weather delay there?
I
Weather delay.
did,
Yeah.
and the most concerning part was probably getting stuffed on 5 downs at the 1-yard line against the
Yeah.
Governors. That was
Not great.
concerning.
Yeah.
Georgia's got some offensive line issues. They're banged up. We're actually I'm trying to get a
Second
Georgia
year in a
guest
row.
Correct. I'm trying to get a Georgia guest for Friday's show because they got to go up to Rocky Top, and people are crowning Tennessee, which I'm not comfortable doing.
Yeah,
just yet.
careful there.
Yeah.
Careful there.
Yeah.
When's the last time Tennessee beat Georgia?
It's been a long time. I want to say off the top of my head, it was the Hail Mary between the hedges.
Research is
Who was
on
the
it.
quarterback for Tennessee that year?
That would have been.
I think Pruitt was the coach of
It
the
wasn't
Vols.
Josh Dobbs, was it?
It might have been.
No, I don't think it was Josh Dobbs. I think it was the guy after him.
Georgia's won
can't
8
remember.
straight over Tennessee.
How'd you find that so quick? Yeah, Georgia's won 8 straight over Tennessee.
Phil Steele's college football.
Good
preview bag.
call. Good call. 2016, Tennessee 34, Georgia 31. Tennessee actually won 2 in a row. Georgia has won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of the last 15 against the old Volunteers. So
That line is too short. That line is
Is it?
too short.
What's the line?
Kirby Smart as a big underdog just doesn't cover, but as a short underdog, big favorite versus short favorite. Georgia's never an underdog.
Also, really way better as a favorite on the road.
Yeah,
than at
yeah,
home.
it could be a problem. So if you want to sprinkle dirt on Georgia, that was also a weird game, Roddy. They started it. There was a long weather
and there was a
delay.
long weather delay.
Kind of like what Clemson dealt with Troy. I'm not making excuses, but I'm kind of making excuses. I think Georgia's going to be fine. I trust Georgia. I don't trust Tennessee. Let's just put it
That's
that
fair.
way.
No, I think that's it from the weekend. Is there anything else?
Rodstradamus, there was a clerical error that I've corrected.
Thank you.
I thought you went 3-7. You actually went 4-6. Still
It's a
not
big
sure.
difference.
Hang on. That's another mistake. You had Baylor +3. That's
Hell yeah.
dub.
Yeah.
5-6.
Hell
5 and
yeah.
6. 5 and 6.
Jesus, Hartzell, did you read this thing?
I did, but the Baylor game took like 4 hours, so that's why I didn't update it until just now. Yeah, 5-6 in week 2 put you at 14-12 for the season. So we are.
And technically, you did, even though you counted it correctly. Arizona State was a favorite, not a.
Sorry, thank you for that.
Just to make the doc.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Arizona State
Official.
was a loss. Virginia Tech probably the worst pick that you had on
That
the
was a
board.
bad pick. That was a bad pick.
Kansas was a bad beat. Yeah, I mean Kansas
a
was the
bad
right
beat.
side, but a bad beat.
Virginia also bad beat.
Uh,
Virginia
Yeah.
threw an interception in the end zone. Like, don't add me. If Virginia kicks, so here's the thing: like they're down 4. They went for it on a 4th, so they missed a field goal. Now they're chasing. They went for it on a 4th down inside the NC State 10 instead of kicking a field goal. That would have covered. And then they threw an interception going into the end zone. Like the Chandler Morris's throw was intercepted in the end zone. Don't you and me? That was the right side of that to be on. The correct side. BS.
still a loss. Iowa State -3.5. They won by 3. That's the hook will get you. Kids. The hook.
And this
Watch out
kid's
for the
on
hook.
Get ya.
Sports. Bet on
The
sports.
hook will get you.
Don't
So
bet on sports.
that being said, we start again. Week 3. Rodstra, talk to me.
All right, we're going to Winston-Salem
Yeah.
on Thursday night.
Oh no.
We're starting there. Hammer NC State -6.5.
Hammer
Loud.
time.
Hammer time.
I will acknowledge that I may or may not have thought that the Catamounts of Western Carolina were going to keep it within 20,
Dude, come on. What are you doing?
and they did not.
Ron
Robbie
Claiborne.
Ashford got right, and in front of about 500 people at a
2 words for you.
stadium.
2 words.
Nobody was there.
It's a generous 500.
Hollywood Smothers. Those are your
I
2
know
words.
he's been very good. He's been very good. I'm not ready to this is not an NC State team that's going to make it to Charlotte. Don't kid yourself. But
No.
they have handled their business. We'll see.
Let's move on to Friday. There's a couple ones on Friday out of the Big 12 that I am interested in.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, Arizona 1.5 point favorite over Kansas State.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got to fade Kansas State right now. I think that's a team that has some structural issues. But
Oh no.
give me Kansas State plus the 1.5.
You got to fade them, but give them to me.
Have they ever been to the desert?
I don't know. Here's the thing. The loss to Army is a weird one. They had 6 possessions the entire game. They had like 2 possessions in the second half. Army controlled the football the entire game. I think this is a bounce back get right for Kansas State. I do.
Just to let our audience know, because this happened in the aforementioned NC State UVA game. This is a non-conference Big 12 game. This does not count for the conference standings.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was on the books before Arizona joined the Big 12.
Wow.
Kansas State making their first trip to Tucson since 1978.
Wow. Philly give you that one too?
Yes, I don't love this pick, Roddy. I'll be honest, but it's on the board. So I know you like to have skin in the game every night of the week. So
what do we know about Arizona right now?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Just that Noah Fafita is still there, and they're 2-0.
I mean, they played Hawaii and Weber State. This is their first test, and again, the Army game was super weird for Kansas State. Like they got service academied. This is still a good Kansas State team. I still kind of believe in this team a little bit, and they're desperate. Like Chris Kleiman's too good a coach to have this thing fall apart, in my humble opinion. Taking them in the desert.
What's the weather doing?
I don't hate that.
What's the weather doing?
Warm.
I mean, obviously it's warm, but is it going to be
like 100?
Oh my God!
What's the temperature on Friday?
High of 99.
Loud.
99.
Bro, I'll give you a chance to get out of this pick.
I'm sticking it. There.
Oh man.
Damn.
They're going to be frying an egg on the field during this game.
Bro, I did one of those. I did Arizona State last year, week 2.
Yeah.
It was like a 7:00 local kick. It was 103 degrees at kick. 7:00 at night.
It's part of the law out there. If Arizona and Arizona State are hosting games in September, it has to be a 7:00 local start because they want the sun to go down.
This one is not. This one's a 6:00 local start because they don't observe daylight savings time. So
I know. I have to Google what time is it in Arizona year round. It's obnoxious.
It's the only place in like that mountain time zone corridor that you can get a red eye after a game because
nice nugget.
The hour difference makes.
Hey, by the way, didn't you fly into Salt Lake City for the BYU game? Elite domestic airport.
Very good domestic airport. I've had a couple. Like the new Kansas City airport is freaking awesome.
It's nice. Yeah. Shout out to MCI. Yep, they did it. They did it right.
Very nice. Yeah. All right. Also, give me Houston minus the 6.5 at home versus Colorado.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that's the correct choice.
Ryan Staub is starting at quarterback for Colorado. I have a feeling you'll see all 3 quarterbacks in this game, like you did last week. Well, Ryan Staub is expected to start because they didn't like. Dion was so unconvinced by Caden Salter in week 1 that he decided he was going to play all 3 of them. Keenan Salter, Juju Lewis, Ryan Staub all got possessions. I think it was like field goal. I can't remember what Salter did, but it wasn't great. Juju Lewis went 2 punts, and then Ryan Staub had 2 touchdowns, and he played the rest of the game, with the exception of the very end where the other 2 got back in. And he's expected to start per Pete Thamel, so I think Connor Wegman and them boys get themselves a dub. You know the coaches. You know the coaches at Houston. Who's the coach?
Willie Fritz.
And what is Willie Fritz?
A good coach.
A winner. It's a bad first season. He's going to start winning.
Hadn't played anybody yet.
That's true.
Defenses look great so far, though, but they hadn't played anybody.
That is true. Winner. That's what I'm going to say about that. All right. Let's go to Saturday on the flats. I'm going to pick Clemson. Minus.
Okay. Hang on. So this is what I was talking about. Yesterday, when I first looked at this game, it was a 9.5 point spread. In the afternoon, discussing this game with a colleague, it was 3.5. I've seen 9.5, and now I'm seeing 3.5 again. What is the line here?
I see it as 9.5.
No, the line is not 9.5.
I'm
The
seeing
line-
3.5 now.
The line is currently, let me just double check here. Consensus line is 3.5.
Oh,
There's
hell yeah.
3s and 3.5s across the board.
Give me Clemson minus the 3.5.
Way to buy the win, Roddy. I see what you're doing here.
Can't do it.
Emotionally hedging your bets. Heady play.
I honestly think they're going to win. Like that's not an emotional hedge. Like I think they're going to win.
That's
Three
why
and a
you're
half.
picking the game, right? Because you think Clemson's going to win
I
straight
think
up.
they're going to win. Straight up.
Yeah, nice.
I'm not winking. There's no winking here. I think Clemson's going to win the game.
Okay.
I'll be really disappointed if Hartzell doesn't pick Georgia Tech later this week.
I know.
You worry about your
Um,
own picks because
'cause
I'm
I'm
pretty
taking
sure
'em.
you're because the lock has been picked as far as you're concerned. You just worry about
Yeah,
yourself,
That is-
not
doctor.
Friday show. Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
number one, you must not have access to Twitter anymore. And I mean,
What
dude,
did you do on Saturday? What was your record Saturday? This past Saturday?
7-6, 7-5.
Okay, so
Something like that.
all right, that's I don't know if
2-0
that's
2-0 last night on Monday Night Football, though.
I don't.
If you're
okay,
keeping track.
Okay, all right, very good. Monday Night Football. I don't do pro football, man, for reasons I do not need to go back into on this show. I quit
Vikings
that drug.
lock over lock.
Quit that drug. What else you got, Roddy?
Oregon minus the 28.5.
That a boy.
I hate these big lines. I'm gonna get screwed, but I think Oregon puts up half a hundo.
Oregon's going to have that thing put to bed by halftime.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Also, give me Georgia minus the 3.5 for reasons that we previously
Ooh.
discussed.
Yes, we certainly did. 3:30 on ABC. Maybe Joe Tess will button up
3:30.
his shirt. Maybe not. Who knows?
He will not. Pitt, West Virginia is an interesting one, man. It's the game I'm doing. All I'm going to say is that's an interesting line.
Yes, one of the fishiest lines of the week.
What is the line?
I see it as 6.5.
Yep.
I hope we get a good one. It'll be fun. I'm going to move on to maybe the biggest game in the history of the CW.
Yeah.
South Florida at Miami.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I
That's
kinda like-
CW.
I kind of like Miami minus the point.
It's going the wrong way. It's going up.
Is it? What's the line now?
18.5.
Nah, that's too
God
much.
almighty.
I'm backing off on that. I'm backing off on that. I like Miami to win the game big, but give me Ole Miss minus the points hosting Arkansas.
Didn't you have this game last year?
I did. And you know what happened in this game last year?
Yes, I very much do remember.
Yeah, Jackson Dart threw for 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was an axe murdering. Is what it was.
I don't think it will be that this year. Austin Simmons has been a turnover machine,
Yes, he has.
but
Cost us the cover against Kentucky last week.
yeah, it's tough. But I do think that Arkansas will struggle structurally to keep up with Ole Miss.
I love Taylor Green though. I mean, can he be trusted in a big time
He's a-
spot?
It's a good
No.
question. He's a pretty big NFL prospect, bigger NFL prospect than I thought he would be. And I saw him 3 times last year, and I like him too.
He is a
from a s-
massive human being. Like Roddy,
Big
like
dude.
you're around athletes, like you're you're used to it. You're not like jaw on the floor type stuff around elite athletes because you do it every week. But like when Taylor Green walks into a room, you're like, Jesus,
That's a big
this
dude.
guy is humongous.
Yeah,
So
big dude.
he looks the part for sure.
Looks like a basketball player a little bit, but he's a big dude. I think that might be. Oh no, we got to go some Florida LSU.
No Old Dominion.
I do like Old Dirty plus the points at Virginia Tech.
Over a touchdown now. Yeah, 7.5.
I think they can keep it close. Golly, that would be bad. I think LSU. I'm going to stay away from LSU, Florida. I think it could be a collapse, but you also could get a shoe thrown. So I'm going to stay away from that one.
Thank
I
you.
will go to South Bend. Give me Notre Dame minus the 6 and a
Really?
hook. Yep.
Really? Okay.
I like the Hunchbacks.
I like
Mark
Marcel Reed a
McDonald.
lot, but
He's improved. We'll see. It's one of those we'll see games. But I like CJ Carr a lot. Like you talking about liking. I like CJ Carr. And then the last one, give me Duke plus 1.5 at Tulane.
Yeah. Way to get back on the wagon. The Darien Mensa Bowl in New Orleans.
Very invincible. And Boston College minus 11.5 at Stanford.
Gross. You know what, though? I love that because that thing kicks at 10:30, and I'm here for it, man.
That's a West Durham game at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Any thoughts on South Carolina, Vandy? South Carolina is only a 5.5-point favorite.
It's fishy.
Stay away. Stay away.
It's a stay away. I agree. South Carolina was not good offensively against Virginia Tech, and Vanderbilt was pretty physical in that game. I'm just not sure. South Carolina wasn't. I didn't watch any of South Carolina State, but pretty paltry numbers for the South Carolina offense. I think South Carolina might have some offensive issues.
Look, I think you are in.
Hold on. Before you go there,
go ahead.
I said paltry numbers because I remembered the numbers being like, oh, what was going on there? Do you know how many yards South Carolina had against South Carolina State?
No.
Not a lot.
253.
That's not good.
That offense might be ass.
Easy. It's a kid show.
Might be.
Kid-friendly show.
You said shithousery earlier.
I was referring to an expression that they use all the time.
I was too. Might be ass.
Yeah. I just think Diego Pavia is an underdog. Dangerous.
It is back-to-back road weeks.
Dangerous.
I think he thrives.
Coming off a super impressive win.
But I think South Carolina is a better team. I don't know that I'd take Vanderbilt. You know what? How many picks we got so far? I'm convincing myself.
You're probably right around 10. Don't be shy. Listen, let it fly. Go with your gut here.
Give me Vandy plus the points.
Yeah.
Famous last words here.
Rodster's seeing things, man. He saw JMU Louisville. He saw the future as it happened.
That was as the future was unfolding.
Strip sacks, Isaiah Brown. He's seeing
Isaac
things
Brown.
very clearly. Isaac Brown. Sorry, Mr. Brown. I'll do better next time.
All right, that's enough.
Are you driving up to Morgantown or what? That's a
Oh.
nice drive through the mountains.
No, I'm not driving up to Morgantown. You
Why
kidding me?
not, man? It's pretty country up there.
Driving? I got a radius that I will drive that is outside the radius.
Yeah, for us it's a good drive. For you, it's a little bit of a hike. I will actually be
probably
down in
7
your
hours.
neck of the. I will actually be down in your neck of the woods next week.
For
we'll
what?
talk about that a little bit later on CSN because Tripp, I might need you to fill in for me.
Oh, really?
Depending on my ability to get around internet. We will talk about that later on. Wayne Cook will be dropping by on Wednesday. Poor Wayne. I mean, I'm going to take it easy on the guy, but then again, the results sort of speak for themselves. UCLA is a
send him a
dumpster
card.
fire. You're gonna send him a
Tell
card?
Wayne I love him and that I'm worried about him. Just please
I'm
tell
going
Wayne that.
to. I'm
Like,
going to lead the show with that, and then we're going to put the UCLA talk to bed for the season. Like, I don't want to hear about it at
Correct.
all. I will put you in the therapist chair. You can lay down with the box of Kleenexes and talk about what it's like to be in the nest.
Dude,
and
it is
be
10
trust.
hours to Morgantown from here.
We can still talk UCLA. They haven't had their third strike yet. They're probably one of my top plays this week.
That's
Only 50.
Whoa.
It's not like they bit you the first 2 weeks or anything, Tripp. So yeah, why not just keep playing
Go back to the
UCLA
well.
blind against New Mexico? That's a long show. I did not expect to go an hour 40 today. Thank you to Roddy Jones. He will be in Morgantown for the Backyard Brawl. Roddy, enjoy wild, wonderful West Virginia. Okay,
Thanks, man.
Tripp, way to bring
Country
it as always.
roads, take me home to the place I belong, western part of Virginia. Mountain mama, take me home. Country roads.
Thank you, John Denver. That's the show. Thank y'all for listening. Talk to you later.